What's up, Packer fans? In this video, I want to talk about three realistic free agents out there that the Green Bay Packers could be targeting. I also want you to leave your comments and let me know what you think. If the Packers, if there's a name that I'm leaving off this list that you would like to see on this Green Bay Packers squad, that is a realistic name. I don't want to see anybody out there that is just throwing out, somebody that the Green Bay Packers can't afford. Of course, that brings up the conversation of, if the Packers are to go and sign some free agents, they obviously have to free up some money. Okay, so we're going to take a look at that also in this video. So before I get into it, if you like the content, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Let's jump into it. When we start talking about the Green Bay Packers having zero space really right now to go out and sign some free agents, they, of course, have got to make some moves. We've already talked about it. The inevitable is happening. David Bakhtiari will be cut, and he's going to free up by himself alone around $20 million. Devondre Campbell is a guy that, just really was a letdown this last season. He just, he really wasn't worth the money out there. I see the Green Bay Packers parting ways with Devondre Campbell. Guard Royce Newman, he has just been taking up some space on this Packer squad. He certainly needs to go. I don't think there's anybody out there that would disagree with that. Royce Newman is inevitably going to be gone from this Packer squad. If they were to cut all three of those guys, they save $24.6 million in cap savings. Also restructuring some deals. They're going to have to do that as well to free up some more money. Okay, because the Packers are cap space broke right now. And the running back Aaron Jones is a contract that we could restructure. He's already said that he wants to stay in Green Bay. I see them restructuring a deal there. Yes, he has put us some sick numbers and he is worth the money, but I do see both parties coming to an agreement there, restructuring that deal. Rashawn Gary is a guy that they could also restructure a bit and save around 12.2 total, making it a total cap savings of around $36.8 million if all of that were to happen. Okay, so then it leaves you saying, okay, so which three guys out there could the Green Bay Packers target and them be realistic? Okay, so one of the biggest needs on this Packer team, especially if we don't re-sign Darnell Savage, is at the safety position. A guy that I see filling in very nicely is a guy with the Rams that played with the Rams last season, Jordan Fuller. Jordan Fuller, he played under Jeff Hafley already at Ohio State. I see him being the most likely target for the Green Bay Packers, especially when, getting Jeff Hafley there. A guy like Jordan Fuller would fit in very nicely under Hafley's system. It wouldn't take him long to learn it and understand it. He had 17 starts last year with the Rams, 3 interceptions and defended 8. Also, he had 3 forced fumbles and 51 solo tackles. This is a guy that can fill in very nicely at the safety position. I don't think we would miss anything with Darnell Savage gone if we were to get a guy like Jordan Fuller in there. And that's a guy that I think we could get relatively quote unquote cheap, right? 2 years, around $9 to $10 million. I see that happening there. Another guy, when we start talking about the departure of Devondre Campbell, a guy that I think the Green Bay Packers could take a look and take a swing at would be Blake Cashman with the Houston Texans. Blake Cashman would bolster the linebacker position, especially again with the departure of Devondre Campbell. That would pair very nicely with Quay Walker. This guy last season, he had 40 solo tackles, 2 sacks, and an interception. This is a guy that I feel the Green Bay Packers could get around, that $8 million range, 2 years, so $4 million roughly a year, depending on how they structure it, all of that good stuff. Then if we start talking defensive back and cornerback, Kendall Fuller, this is a dude out of the Washington Commanders that I feel that the Packers could get relatively, he's going to be the more expensive contract there only because of his age, right? He's going to probably end his career-ish there, so they'd have to sign him for 3 years, maybe around $40 million. But he and Jair Alexander on either side would be absolutely brilliant. The Green Bay Packers corners would be pretty much a lockdown. I love Carrington Valentine, and you got to think one of these guys are going to get hurt. Carrington Valentine's going to fill in very nicely there. Also, he had 50 solo tackles, 2 interceptions last season, but over the 4 seasons there, he has 49 passes broken up and then 10 interceptions. So he puts up some good numbers. I see the Green Bay Packers realistically taking a swing at Jordan Fuller again, especially to go along with Jeff Hafley's defense. Blake Cashman, somebody that is athletic to go along with Quay Walker, I think could be a nice addition. They could get him relatively cheap. And then Kendall Fuller out of Washington, that's a little bit more of a stretch. They really don't need that. But those are three realistic guys that I foresee the Green Bay Packers going out and signing, especially if they, have that cap space that they free up by dropping some players and or restructuring some contracts. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know those guys out there that I didn't mention, or even guys that I did mention. If you're like, yeah, I can see the Packers going after any of those guys. Leave your comments. Go Pack Go.